Hello everybody and welcome to another league race on Project Cars. This is the AOR BMW 320 Touring Car League. It is the penultimate race night of the season and we're going to have another couple of exciting, hopefully, races here today at Hockenheim, the full GP layout. 9 laps of a sprint race and then 18 laps of a main race with a reversed grid. Usual procedure in terms of the format, and we are going to jump into the qualifying session now. Only 3 minutes to go actually of the 15-minute session, so we're a little bit late getting out of the way as per usual, but you're probably used to that by now. And you're currently looking at the provisional pole sitter, Charf, also the championship leader in the garage currently, so clearly happy with his time. I'm Fizzy though, and as usual joining me in the commentary box is Stevie SQ.
Hello ladies and gentlemen of the internet, how are you? Hope you're well. How are you, Fizzy?
I'm relatively decent, to be fair. How about you?
I'm alright. I'm very good. I'm looking forward to tonight's racing.
Indeed. So, as it's only 2.5 minutes left of qualifying, let's have a cheeky look at the time. We already saw Charf in the garage, and he's sitting on a 146.4 currently, which is nearly 7 tenths even ahead of his closest challenger at the moment, which is Jeff, the only other man to get into the 46s at the moment, just about. The Gronstra in third at the moment, Vernex in fourth. Where's Enzo? Enzo down in 5th position. At least he's still on the track, so he can improve that, but Enzo, Charf's very close championship challenger all season, is all the way down in 6th and a second off in terms of lap time. Stevie, that is not looking too good, is it?
No, he was concerned about it earlier when we were in the team speak, so I think he's hoping for a little bit of bad luck for Scharf.
Yeah.
Championship-wise, this certainly doesn't seem his strongest circuit. With it being a longer circuit, there's more time for someone to make up time, you know, that's why the last 2 circuits been nice and short little tracks. It's harder to find such a big advantage. But here, where there's miles upon miles, there's like 3 miles, but there's miles upon miles of track, it's quite easy to get lots of little bits of time. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at Enzo himself, and he made a mistake there in the final sector, which is not going to help his quest to improve on his position. He only really needed just over a tenth for a 2 position improvement here. So let's see if that mistake in the final sector has cost him too much for him to move up. He's about to come across the line and he doesn't improve, and he will not have time for another lap, so it'll be P6 at the best for Enzo. Let's see if anyone else is on track. Gronstra is out. He's the only man in the top 6 who is actually out at the moment. Most cars in the pit. Brander's parked some random place on the track.
Oh yeah. He's coming.
Yep. Yeah, a few guys further down the field on the track, but I think we're going to look at the Gronstra in the final sector here. So we're getting towards, well, we're in the final half a minute of qualifying.
The good thing about this circuit, other than the fact it's quite long, is that it is easy to overtake.
That is good, yes.
So hopefully the field will still stay relatively close together, provided they all really fight quite hard. Not going to be like Willow Springs, where it's taken 3 or 4 laps to get into a position to overtake. Well, there we go.
Yep, there we go. So Charf from pole by 5, well, just about 6 tenths of a second over Jeff. Gronstra in 3rd, and then Vernex, Clausen, Enzo in P6, Ginetta, Papan, Brandrus, and Andrex in the top 10. Then comes Nismo, Rillo, Hetharion, and Mr. Alcon made his way into the session in the end. That's nice. So we're going to have a 14-man grid. I expected it to be a 13-man grid, but we got Alcon in, which is good. So 14 drivers today, even though we would have liked more, but I guess we can pretend that we're on a console at the moment. So 16-man lobby, it makes sense.
I'm going to refrain from making any console jokes. Because I might make one. If it was a console, they wouldn't all be here anyway, because it won't work. Haha! Anyway.
Interesting.
Anyway. So how do you think Sharf's feeling ahead of this race? He knows he's got a little bit of a gap, just needs to keep it clean and just get away. But we know how much he's been haunted by that Silverstone error.
Yeah. I think he's feeling comfortable. He's probably looking at the gap and thinking it's going to be another pole to flag, or at least he'll have a very big chance of a pole to flag again in the sprint race. But of course, his main struggles apart from a silver zone, have come from the main race with the reverse grid, where it's usually taking quite a bit of time actually to get through the field. But maybe the fact that it's quite easy to overtake here, as you mentioned, might help him out. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see like where Enzo finishes in the sprint race compared to Charf, and therefore how, you know, if he'll have any chance at all of keeping in the championship hunt after this one.
But that's a good point actually, because Enzo only qualified like 6th, so he's already halfway through the field.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
For the sprint race. Maybe it's a little bit tactical by Enzo. Totally intentional, obviously.
Intentionally, yeah, maybe it was intentional.
Slow down a little bit.
Planned all the way from the start of the season when he was, you know, deciding that the reverse grid should be based on qualifying and not the race result. And maybe now he's trying to take advantage of that.
Yeah. Clever.
Clever man.
Do the work in the main race, sprint race, where it's shorter.
Interesting how it turns out.
Tactical.
I'm going to just say hello to Minimanor in the chat. Brownski as well joining us as always. Hopefully you'll have some cheeky facts for us along the way.
Hello.
And
Brownski,
also,
I'll say whatever. They can get mad at me all they like.
Oh.
Don't mind. Bring it.
Bring it, lads. You heard it, man. Hack the Maniac as well. Asking when the new GT3 season starts. Steve, you do want to elaborate on that?
No.
Okay, that's good.
In a while. It'll be after this. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but maybe sign-ups might be going out within 7 days. Maybe within 5 days.
Oh.
Maybe even within
6
3 days.
Oh god.
But maybe not.
You're giving some very
Evan,
good information here. Oh, I mean, hey Evan! Hey Ali K as well! How does the reverse grid work? That is a question and a half. Well, basically, it is not too advanced actually. It's although you might in many other racing series have expected the reverse grid to be based on the result of the first race, but here the reverse grid will be based on the qualifying, so it's actually decided already. So this first sprint race, which is 9 laps long, will have the grid obviously based on qualifying, and then the second race will have a full reverse order based on qualifying as well. And how it works in practice is basically that all the cars stay stationary on the grid, and then they move away in reverse qualifying order one by one. The coordinator calls out the names, and then they have a pretty slow formation lap to get everyone in position, and then we go racing.
And from the past 2 weeks' experience, from what I've seen, it's very good at entertainment.
Yes.
Very good racing.
Indeed, the main race always has had a lot of action. I just hope that this track won't be too easy to overtake at. I obviously want them to have a bit of a challenge so that the guys at the back will take, you know, even if they have a big pace advantage as we expect Charf to have, they will hopefully still take quite a while to get through the field.
With a bit of luck, they will... The thing is it's alright fighting, provided you don't let one person get away.
Yeah.
That's the key. Don't all scrap for second behind and let Sharf run away. Got to get him involved. Get everybody involved. Let's all get in a group. It's a school sports day. Everybody, no one's a loser. We're all involved.
Yeah, we saw that, of course, in the main race at Silverstone, when Klaassen managed to get a big gap all of a sudden, and took advantage of everyone behind squabbling for basically the rest of the race. Whereas last week at Willow Springs, it was a different story. You had Papan in the lead. To be fair, he did stay in the lead until the end, but it was a much closer gap, and the guys behind were really hunting him down.
Yeah, he had a little fight for the win, though. He had a little fight to start with, and in the end, he came a bit close at the end.
Had to go a bit defensive, and had to sweat in his pants a little bit. As now the cars are getting parked. I think we're about to go here for the sprint race. If Enzo can just roll into the wall. Oh no, he retires to the pits before he gets there, and now I think he will be the man to skip us on to the next session. All 14 drivers still in the lobby, which is good.
He's going to hit that big green go button.
Evan, what do you mean that I've been ignoring stuff? I don't understand.
Oh, he's just talking about stuff. Quick shout out as we're not in a race. Happy birthday, the genius. There you go. That's that done. Next.
There we go.
On to the race.
So here is the grid. All the cars nicely lined up, and the lights are out, and we're not going. Oh, it's always such an anticlimax.
You never tire from doing that, do you?
No.
You do it every single week.
Yeah, probably not.
Nope. You do your thing, mate.
Great. So, it'll be, rolling start, rolling manual formation lap in both of the races, but obviously in this one they don't need to go through the bother of reversing everyone. So, Charf leading the field away from the pole spot. Oh, King Kodak in the chat. How are you doing?
Hi, King Kodiak.
Oh, Ranger Carrot, as it's actually known on Twitch.
Why don't you do me, and I'll forget what I just said. I noticed Sharp's doing a lot of tire warming. Everybody's doing a lot of tire warming. We haven't seen that previously.
No,
normally a little bit here and there, not quite as early, and certainly not as aggressive.
Maybe sometimes it's been because they've been scared of falling off the track, because it's been difficult tracks with gravel close and all that kind of stuff.
And it'd be pretty embarrassing.
Yes. Whereas here you have a massive wide straight where you can do a lot of weaving without any fear.
Wasn't it Hatharian at Silverstone that he fell off the road as he started the race?
Yeah.
You don't want to.
He wasn't in the weaving zone though. It was in the braking.
He just outbraked himself.
But yeah, so far so good on this particular formation lap. It seems we're gonna roll through the field there. So you missed qualifying. You can see where everyone is starting. Yeah, Scottish Wall in P10 there. And put a gap behind Nismo. There we go.
I was going to say, Mr. Alcon was practically pushing Azarian then. Like, come on, keep up. Get involved.
Well, King Kodak, I don't always cause climaxes as much as you, I'm afraid. But I'm glad you at least have experienced that from me. Anyway.
Good one.
So, yeah, it is Ali, the same layout as the F1 track. I was a little bit surprised actually when I saw the calendar that they hadn't gone for one of these shorter layouts, but I guess they decided that the GP layout is the best one at Hockenheim, so they gone for the full circuit, despite the cars being quite a bit slower, of course, than F1 cars, and quite a bit, well, completely different to drive. But in any case, we can see the whole field now coming through the final corner, so we have a 13-field grid ready to get on the way whenever Charles decides to get his foot down. Jeff was very late. Jeff was basically ahead of Charles as he put his foot down, as they couldn't really see him, and he's lost a lot of position. Charles leading into turn 1 after being challenged from Gronstra. Clausen's up into 3rd place, side by side, going a bit wide there. Oh, and what is going on in the back?
It's Jeff in the wall, I think. Is it Jeff? It's Jeff. He was in the wall at turn 1 on the exit. I think he just dropped it and bang. That'll be quite a bit of damage for him, I think. But he's still going, so he might be able to keep going and get some points. But ooh, that's not a good start for a man on the front row. Yeah,
it's been a nightmare start for Jeff. Not only did he kind of sleep a bit as Charf started the race, but he's then had a nightmare first corner as well, as the top two are starting to break away a little bit. That is, of course, Charf himself, and Gronstra is keeping right on him. Enzo then is up to 3rd already from P6. As I'm hearing another bit of banging, there's a few cars wide, very close together between a lot of the cars through the hairpin here. And Andrex up to 5th as well. He has made up 5 positions at the start. It's been a lot of swapping around. Now it's Andrex leading a train. Papan is keeping up with Enzo. And at the front, Gronstra keeping up with Charf. So hopefully Gronstra can keep up this first lap and give Charf a bit of a challenge. But yeah, a lot of swapping around Stevie here so far.
Yeah, I'll tell you who else has had an absolutely amazing first lap, other than the Scottish Wall. Papand is up to 4th, and it was challenging Enzo through that middle part.
So where did he start again?
Like 7th or 8th.
Wow, yeah.
Maybe even lower than that, maybe 9th. He's had a great. Oh, he's still a little moment on the curve though, but he's composed, isn't he? He's got a nice little gap back to the Scotsman.
Scotsman holding station ahead of Clausen's at the moment. And you can see the field coming through. There was that Hertharion at the back of that field? I believe so. And is Jeff still in the mix? Yeah, so Jeff is... oh, no, Jeff is in the pit. Jeff is out of the race. That is a shame. So damage too big for him, whatever happened after the first corner. That I didn't see, I only heard it.
Tell you what you might want to have a look at.
Yep.
Gronstra is exceptionally close to Schaff right now, and if he doesn't have a go into the hairpin, I'll be amazed.
Well, fingers
He's
crossed. I'm not
sat in
sure
the slipstream.
how powerful the slipstream is here. I guess this will give us a good indication. It's lovely camera.
Well, he's
It's
gaining.
definitely closing. It's the default setup, of course. All of these guys running the exact same setup on the cars, so it's all about the slipstream, and of course the drivers themselves making the difference. And Schaff was forced to go defensive into the hairpin. Gronstra wasn't able to take advantage of the better run. Schaff defending well and getting a good exit as well, but yeah. Gronstra really putting the pressure on. Maybe from qualifying, Schaff wouldn't have expected this kind of pressure in this race, considering the gap he had on his qualifying lap. But of course, there's a chance that Gronstra maybe wasn't matching his potential in qualifying, and he has better race pace. Andrex still holding up the train. Oh, go on.
Or maybe he knows that his best chance to attack Schaff is earlier rather than later.
Yeah.
You just get ahead of him and try and hold him up as opposed to anything. Go on.
Side by side between a dangerous Gianessa and who was that? Not sure. Papan's teammate, anyway. I think it's Rillo, who's just made a position into the stadium section. Some good driving there, and that has put dangerous Gianetta under pressure from what I believe is Vernox. It is indeed Vernox, Schaff's teammate, down in 10th position. We usually see him a bit further up in the sprint races, I feel. But he's having to make up some positions here. That was a good move from Rillo in a overtaking spot that isn't too much used. Now though, Nismo under pressure from Claessens for P6, but definitely an even less used overtaking spot is turn 1, because it's such a high speed one. You really need to get a fantastic exit out of the final corner and get your car alongside before the the very small braking zone there, if you want to have a chance of an overtake. I did see some more side by side.
Yeah, Rillo just ran a little bit wide through turn 1, got on the curb, and Gianetta was taking that place back. So that lovely overtake into the stadium's all gone to waste. Then again, it looks like he's going to have him back.
Yeah, it does look like he's going to keep swapping positions, because the dangerous Gianetta was very wiggly on the outside of the previous corner, but he's going to go defensive here. Schaff was able to defend the inside line here earlier on from Gronstra. Can Gianetta do the same from Rillo? It's obviously not quite an easy task to go around the outside here. When you're on the outside, you're going to want to try to cut underneath a little bit, which Rillo looked like he tried to. He didn't really work, but because Gianetta had a bit of a slide on the exit, he's still very, very close, and it's going to be pretty much side by side through the next kink as well. Rillo trying to hang it, and we'll have the inside line for the next corners, braking it later as well. Got to make sure to not force Gianetta out wide, and he has backed out of it, and the car behind Vernox as well, getting very, very close. Some fantastic racing here in the battle for 8th position. And
the battle for 5th started up as well. Claessens and Andrex were side by side there. Nismo had a go at Andrex, I think, into turn 8 and royally mucked it up, but it put Claessens all over Andrex, and he's still kind of trying to have a go. Forced Andrex into a defensive manoeuvre into the stadium section. It's getting a bit hectic here. We didn't think that would happen, but I told you.
Yeah, yep. And nearly looks like Claessens we're going to have a look even into the final corner, and that nose up the inside might have put Andrex up a little bit. He's gone a little bit deep on the middle part of that corner and hasn't got he's got a decent enough exit, I think, to hold off into turn 1, but Claessen's definitely knocking on the door. I'm just going to check the gap at the front. Schaff still leading ahead of Gronstra. It's about a second now. He's pulled away a little bit, and Enzo closing in on Gronstra now, actually. So Enzo showing that maybe there was something to a theory that he might have been sidebagging a bit in qualifying. I
think it's worked out well if it wasn't.
Yeah, definitely.
I think Enzo was kind of hoping that Gronstra would stick with Schaff a little more than he has. He's dropped back a little. I think Enzo will now just get past him, get out of the way. I need to get to Schaff now.
Yeah, and speaking
of getting past,
attack
him, I will.
Claessen's
Gronstra's run wide actually at the exit hairpin.
Not enough though, but Andrex is forced to go defensive, and there's another battle behind them as well. That is Rillo now for 7th position. He's passed Nismo actually as Rillo. So after being briefly repassed by Gianetta earlier on, he's now made another position up. And they're gonna still be side by side. Oh, and
we've got 3 bits of side by side.
Oh no, I don't know where to look. And Andre's still holding on from Claessen's, Rillo holding on from Nismo, and Vernox passing Gianetta through there. And Brandris right at the back of them as well. God, this midfield battling is crazy, and it's not over yet. Go on, Stevie, take us through this overtake, potentially.
Just having a look at Rillo up the inside into stage. He's done it! Is he going to complete it? Oh, Rillo's on the outside, though. That was well done to hold it around the outside there. Give it side by side into the hairpin, and Rillo's done it. Well done, that man, because that was brave.
Yeah, Nismo looked like he
so
lost.
Easily could have gone wrong.
Looked like Nismo lost quite a bit of speed actually from taking that tight line. It looked like he had to maybe break. Oh no! Is that Claessen's off? Yes, Claessen's been off the track in the battle with Andrex. He's now dropped behind the whole train down to 11th positions. Andrex has stayed in 5th, so he's okay. Didn't see what initiated that. I just saw the orange BMW flying off the track. Oh, and that's a bit naughty from Rilla, cutting the corner.
The bottom 6, from 5th to 11th, are covered by such a small amount of time, whereas the top 4 are so spread out.
Yeah.
Then again, I'd argue Enzo has made a mistake, because he's really dropped off the back of Gronstra. He's almost...
Yeah.
Papan's almost got
Yeah,
him.
that must have been a mistake. Enzo will be frustrated with him again. He was, of course, annoyed with himself about the mistakes he made at Willow Springs last week. A couple, like one notable mistake in each race, which really hampered his chances, and now he's been put into the clutches of Papan. Again, obviously, he's been able to pull away from Papan earlier in the race, and if he keeps focused, he might well do that again. But,
We've got overtaken again now between Rillo and Vernix. Vernix has really capitalised. He was like 9th in the middle of the last lap. He's up to 7th at this point. He looks like he's just got past Nismo, so he's now next one up the road is Rillo. Andrex has got a little bit of a gap at this point.
Yeah. Claessen's falling off the track has really helped him. Claessen's though, he has made one position back up out of Brandress there in 10th now. Of course, points scored all the way down to 16th there, so when there's only a 14-man grid today, everyone's going to score points as long as they finish the race. So unfortunately for Jeff, that means he's not going to get points from this particular sprint race. And of course, if you do get major damage... Oh, speaking of damage, that could be some for Nismo. And Ginetto's basically pushed him off the track into the gravel trap. Not too much of a contact, but obviously Nismo couldn't do much to help himself from going off track there when he had Ginetto's front end stuck on him. That's a bit of a shame, I think. Ginetta just misjudged that overtaking opportunity, was a little bit optimistic. Make that move in the stadium section, and that has lost both of them quite a bit of time.
Talking of losing quite a bit of time, I was having slight lap issues in qualifying. Get Enzo's last lap, because for me it's shown a 51.3. That's far slower than what everybody else has been running, pretty much.
So is that the mistake lap?
I don't know whether that's a mistake lap. That was shown as his last lap. 51.3. That's 3.5 seconds slower than what Schaff is doing. Papan's right on the rear of him. Has Enzo got damage?
Well,
he's not shown any for me.
we think it's had a mistake. The question is, has he had a touch with something? Yeah, I can't see any visual damage on his BMW.
But Papan is definitely catching him.
Oh, it looked a bit slow there on the exit as well. I don't know if it's just my eyes playing games, but yeah, Enzo seems to have lost all of his pace all of a sudden. But at least he's still in the podium position, and with a decent start position to come in the reverse grid as well.
With only 3 laps to go, and he might be able to hold off Papan.
Yeah. So of course, only 3 laps to go. Even less than 3 laps, because I think Chaff is about to cross the line.
He is.
So essentially 2 laps to go for these guys. Of course, the sprint race always flies by, and it's no exception here today, even though the midfield is starting to spread out a little bit now. But of course, we'll have a main race very soon, which will be twice the length of this sprint race, with the same points on offer, and with a reverse grid. So if this hasn't been action-packed enough for you, there will undoubtedly be more to come, as Brandress has made his way up to 8th because of Ginetta, Claessen's and Nismo all having their own troubles, and Claessen's dropped behind Ginetta, I think, since we were last with him. So
I don't think Schaff can relax. And I think Gronstra is in a really good position here. Schaff cannot make a mistake because Gronstra's right with him. He's not close enough to overtake, but he's really close enough to put pressure on Schaff here.
he has to avoid making the Silverstone error.
Yes, he cannot afford a mistake.
Yeah, obviously, for those who didn't watch the Silverstone race, Chaff was leading the race comfortably in the sprint. On the final lap, he did a cheeky corner cut, got a massive slowdown penalty from the game, and dropped 5 positions, I think it was. And of course, if he does that again, Gronstra will be right here. But he only got this stadium section to go and then one more lap. Oh, he's got very hard onto that curb, but he managed to keep control of the curb. That looked very dangerous indeed from Charf, who really doesn't need to push. He just needs to control the gap to Gronstra. And he's got a couple of seconds in hand. So I think if I was in Charf's position, I would just take it easy now. Just make sure Gronstra doesn't get too close for comfort. And I think now Enzo as well starting to pull a gap on Papan a little bit. Andres getting wheeled in by Rillo actually. Rillo showing some really impressive pace in this race. Rillo only 11th in the championship, has not finished above 9th all season, so he's on for a season best result.
Commentator curse.
Oh god, I'm sorry. Yeah, so Rillo now on the final lap is inevitably going to spin off a auto spin curb and smash into the wall and retire to the pit. But hopefully that doesn't happen.
Now, if that does happen, he's really not going to like it at all. I noticed as well, I think Shaft's decided to make it clear to everybody that he's fastest on circuit. He's just done a 46. And the only one in the 46 is for a while. Although he spun! He's had his moment and a half spin at the hairpin! Oh no! What was I saying? I won't say that. I didn't commentate and curse him! He had such a moment at the hairpin! He was so sideways! His heart will be in his mouth or at the other end right now. It's not the gap. Thankfully for him, the gap's not big enough.
To be fair, I got very excited when you had that reaction, and then I look at them and the gap's the same.
He was so excited. There was smoke and everything.
Oh god, smoke! Oh no, it must have been bad.
It's like he was drifting, but badly.
Well,
Gronstra's eyes will have lit up then, and Shaft won't have. But fortunately for Shaft, he had a big enough gap. But again, a last lap mistake.
Definitely not helping his sweat levels at all, I would think. But
absolutely not.
Is at least going to hold off on this occasion to take another pole to flag in the sprint race. Chaff gets 24 points for the championship. Gronstra, though, did put a good amount of pressure on and got second place in the end. Enzo, Chaff's closest championship rival, will be in third position.
Interrupting. Branders and Gianetta for 8th. They're scrapping. The last lap's little scrap, which Gianetta's just done. He's just held it around the outside of the hairpin to take that.
Caught the end of that. That was good. Looked like a good move. At least found part of it. So Gianetta's going to finish in 8th position, just ahead of Brandrus. Just topping off the lovely midfield scraps that we had in this particular race. So you can see. Oh, actually, well, that's wrong. I think.
Something must have happened to Claessens because he's already in the garage, so he didn't finish the race.
So Claessens and Jeff didn't finish. Hatharion will be in 12th as it is now, coming across the line. Mr. Alcon in 11th. And yeah, it says Brandrus is ahead of Ginetta on the results, but I think we clearly saw that Ginetta crossed the line first, so he should have 8th. And then ahead of them we have Vernex in 7th. Rillo did get his season best result with 6th. Andrex in 5th. Papans in 4th, and then of course the top 3 as we know. So that was another fun 9-lap race. And Stevie, are you looking forward to the 18-lap main race with the reverse grade that is about to come up?
Of course I am! Especially because I think there's a number of people that have got a really good shout at a good result. You know, Papand he was consistent, and at some points his pace was similar to that of Shaft, Gronstra and Enzo. Enzo's in a good position. He starts a little bit further up the grid. Gronstra was the only one really to keep Shaft honest. So if he can slow Shaft down through the pack and ruin his fun a little, I think that could be an interesting little battle to watch. And then the rest of the field, as we saw, were pretty much all together. So what can possibly go wrong?
It's impossible to predict what's going to go on in the midfield, that's for sure. But yeah, of course, I think Gronstra will have the pace to make life difficult for Char. Question is he able to stay out of incidents, because he has a tendency to quite often get involved in some bit too feisty scrapping and lose some time because of it. But fingers crossed that does not happen here today. And of course, Enzo will be starting the main race from.
Go on.
11th? No, 10th? No, 9th? 9th? Is that right? 9th?
How many did we have?
40. No, but yes.
No,
oh no, because I'm not sure if Alcon managed to qualify.
He did. He was the slowest. Mr. Alcon should be on pole actually.
Yeah. So I think it'd be 9th then.
All right. He was 6th, wasn't he?
Yeah.
We can do maths.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it'd be 9. if Alcon did put a qualify that. Anyway, guys in the chat, hope you enjoyed it. What are you on about?
14 take away 6 is 8.
Yes, but
So it'll be 8.
no. Because you have to take away 5, because there was only 5 cars ahead of Enzo.
Ignore me! Ignore me!
I won!
You might still be wrong. We don't know.
Well, I better be right, otherwise this league is getting disbanded. Anyway,
Wow.
as we just lost someone from the lobby, but hopefully they'll get back in before the main race. Anyway, guys in the chat, hope you enjoyed that one.
And I hope you enjoyed that little argument
Yes,
of me and Fizzy being unable to do, well, me being unable to do maths.
probably the highlight. Yeah, if you have any questions about the league or the format or the, AOR project cars in general, feel free to fire away, as we now will have a bit of a break while the session.
Let's not ask any more maths questions.
Yeah, not maths, please. It doesn't.
I was told that if I did well at maths, I'd be able to use maths in real life and it would apply, and it didn't. I did a dumb, so screw you, maths teachers.
So it's now the eternal wait for the lobby to kick us back out, so that we can start the next one. Oh, this is always fun. Oh god, Alex put a math question in. No thanks.
Nope.
Nope.
Hey, there we go. We're out of the game. Yeah, out of the lobby now.
Don't need algebra, Mini. Algebra is
Never need algebra.
just not necessary for survival of human beings.
Fizzy,
Hey.
can I just say I'm really proud of you.
Oh.
You won half a stream so far. You haven't swore once. I'm glad you've kicked.
Now you're making me really tempted to do one.
I know you are. That's why I said it. It was just for the bands. Go on.
Oh no! I'm gonna.
Tell me to F off. Go on.
This is my
Do
professional.
it. Be a rebel.
I'm gonna be professional tonight.
Oh, we're professional. We've upgraded, have we?
If you want to see my amateur stream from last week, that's also on my Twitch channel.
Where did you buy that license?
My professional license? Well, I just wrote it myself.
Okay. Interesting.
Yes.
So what do we think's gonna happen championship-wise?
Nothing.
This is
Oh, that's a good point. I even forgot to show the championship from before the race. So.
See how I helped you out there by asking a question.
Yes, thanks. So we
Totally
can have a
meant
look
to do
quickly. So this, you're looking at the drivers' standings before the race you just watched. So this is after round 8 out of 12. And you can see it was an 11-point gap for Sharf going into it. He will have extended that by 5 with his 24 points over 19 for Enzo in that sprint race. So it'll be a 16-point gap. See, I can do math.
Amazing.
And of course, yeah, it's running out of time for Enzo really to close that down with now only 3 races to go. So he really kind of depends on Chaff to have some kind of problem, but of course, when you have a reverse grid,
Anything can happen.
anything can happen. Of course, Chaff can get unlucky. We saw a big incident after a few laps last week when Andrex basically decided to spin in front of everyone and catch a few drivers out. Both Chaff and Enzo on that occasion managed to avoid it. But of course,
Did
you
we
never
ever
know.
pay him for that, for entertainment purposes? For the bands?
Didn't ask for it, so I couldn't be asked.
Yeah,
But
fair play. That was a joke. That was a joke. Just wanna, because I know how funny I am.
very funny indeed.
Thanks, man. Is there a
Interestingly-
little scrap? Go on.
Interestingly, before that sprint race, Claessens and Grunster, the teammates, were equal on points on 127. Grunster, though, will have extended that quite a bit with his second place over Claessens.
DNF.
He might still have been in the 90% range, though, so he might have got points for 13.
Yeah, there was only one lap down.
Yeah.
How was the
Actually, that wouldn't be
how's the team
90% of a
championship?
9 lap race, would it? Team championship, that's a good question. Here it
I'm
is.
full of good questions.
I still haven't really learned
And pizza.
exactly who is in which team. Although I think Pedal to the Metal is Vernox and Charv. So they're
Fair play.
leading the championship, and with a solid margin, 46 points, down to pushing too far, which is Cousins and Gronstra in that lovely orange livery. And coordinated is our two coordinators, Nismo and Enzo. Yeah, 24 points behind second. They still have a chance to close that down if they nail the 5 and 3. And then any close battles in the team championship. 2 points between Denied and OSW in 8th and 9th.
Denied.
8th and 9th. Yeah, they're called Denied.
Oh, denied. Right.
Yeah.
I was going to say what, like, the night is on. The night is ongoing. We'll party along into denied. But you mean denied. So I was denied my joke. Ha ha!
Oh yeah, that's a good question, Minnie. I'm not last in the table, that is Gibbs. Lol.
Well,
After I only did the first week, and then decided to become a commentator instead.
somebody's just left the lobby.
Oh no.
We were at 16, we were down to 15.
I was trying to figure out who it was.
Or you just click online lobby and it'll tell you, Artharion has left the session.
Oh. And he would have started quite high up, of course.
Yeah, maybe even front row.
Possibly.
Second to third.
So hopefully he will make his way back in. Of course, we have a bit of a buffer with this warm-up. One of the reasons we have, 5 minutes extra on the warm-up time is because of the situation like this. If someone has a problem, they have a bit of extra time to come in before the race starts. So hopefully Darren will be able to sort out whatever the problem was.
Bransky said the overtake on the final corner is going to hit Enzo big time. I think he's referring to last week, where Enzo lost a position. Shaft beat him to the podium. Well, he got second, I think, on the final corner.
Would have been a 4-point swing the other way, wouldn't it? So
yeah, it wouldn't have made all the difference unless we get to the end of the season and it's 4 points difference.
Yeah.
In which case, you'll really not like
it. But Ali K were asking what day is the Assetto Course League. That is, well, Minnie has already answered, but I can answer it as well. It is on Mondays, 8 p.m. UK time, streamed by Wycombs, who did the commentary with me for the second round of this league as well.
And that league's co-commentator with Phil Reed, isn't it?
He is indeed, with Mr. Phil.
Mr. Phil.
Mr. Phil, MacPhil, N.
You've learnt his name after all these years.
Yeah, that's always good fun as well.
Can I just say how good as a mod Mini Mariner is?
He's fantastic.
Instant question, boom, there's your answer.
It's like he lives in my chat, and I love it.
He lives in hey, not yours. He lives in everybody's chat.
Well, all the AOR chats at least.
Yes, yeah.
Which is good. Back asking how long the next race will be. Yeah, so it will be twice the length of the sprint race, basically. So the sprint race was 9 laps. The main race now will be 18 laps, and with that reverse grid. So yeah, Brownsky says around half an hour, probably about right.
It's a Star World. Sorry, I just wanted to sing that because of Alec.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I confirm, Hetharion is back in the session. Yes, he is.
I was going to say that, but never mind.
Well,
You're lead commentator.
Say what I want.
You do it. Say what you want, what you really, really want.
When you want, when you really want.
Hey, you got the joke? It's not even a joke, it's a reference.
It's a song.
This is.
Good one. Anyway.
We make a great team.
I could really do with this guy skipping the session, though.
Yeah,
I'm running out of things to sing.
We're struggling here. Everyone's here. Come on, skip.
Come on, Enzo. Yes.
Hey!
There we go.
You had to say the magic words.
Here we go. The grid for well, it's not quite the grid at the moment because I need to get in order now. But the lights are out, and no, and where the way don't go. So the procedure now is that everyone will pull to the side of the track. Well, a few of the guys just go through the middle, I guess. Those are the guys who know they'll be at the front.
God.
So let me skip. So Mr. Alcon will be on pole. So yeah, you're right that he did set a qualifying lap in that session. So yeah, the race grid based on qualifying. So not on the previous race result, but on qualifying. So this will be Alcon there from pole because he qualified last for the first race. Then we'll have Hetharion P2 on the front row with him. Rillo third. Interesting. Rillo finished 6th in the first race. He showed some really good pace to get through the field. He could be in a great position. Yeah, he really could if he's able to carry that from the sprint race. Rillo could be on for another good one. And Nismo in a decent position in 4th as well. And Rex will be looking to defend that 5th place for all he's worth. He's usually putting up that Scottish wall in front of everyone that tries to challenge him. Brandress in P6. Then is Papant also in a decent position. Of course, he was a man who won last week's main race. And just Janessa then follows, and then we'll have Enzo in at 9th. I was indeed correct. Get wrecked, mate.
Well, get you. I'll just leave, shall
I? No, please.
Well, thank you.
And then Claessens also in at 10th. Will of course be looking for a better race after not quite finishing the previous one. Vernox in 11th and Gronstra in at 12th. So Gronstra's got Jeff between himself and Charf as well to help him out there. And then of course Charf, the winner from the sprint race, at the back, as he usually is, because he always takes pole.
Well, that's the price he pays, but most of the time he's capitalised that into the sprint race victory, and as you get both the same points for both races, he's not losing out massively because of that. Only if he makes that critical error does he not get it.
Browski asking if we can confirm whether season 7 of GT3 will be the last one on Project Cars before Project Cars 2. Problem is, we don't really know the exact release date though for Project Cars 2.
What he said.
So,
what he said.
It's a bit hard to plan for it, but we'll see. As long as, you know, judging by Project Cars 1, they might decide to suddenly do a bit of delaying with the release date. Yeah, we're taking it as it comes really at the moment. We'll do season 7 then see where we are.
Yeah, let's get season 7 out of the way first, and then I'll probably have a minor panic attack midsummer and come up with a decision, and we'll go that way. Yeah. Or everyone else will argue the other case, and we won't.
Yeah, it usually comes out to what the community wants on these things really, and what the interest is. Whether there will be enough interest for another season after season 7 remains to be seen.
But we're focusing on this now.
Yeah.
We might end up having a few little series like this if we know it's not quite enough time for a full season of GT3, but
yeah,
time for a few
different seasons like this one.
Yeah.
These guys driving at the moment seems to have enjoyed this series, so you never know. He might come back for another one after the next GT3 season to do some more gap filling. But in any case, Stevie, we're about to get a race underway here.
We are indeed. Mr. Alcon leading them round. I'm looking further back in the field, so you take the lead.
And he can now put his foot down wherever he wants from around about this point and until the start line. Mr. Alcon controls when the race goes green, and here we go for the main race of 18 laps here at Hockenheim. Good start from Mr. Alcon, and then though Hetharion under pressure from Rillo already, but Rillo backing out of it probably wisely through that particular corner, and no contact I've seen or heard so far. A bit of side-by-side though into turn 2 if this camera wants to change. Oh, side-by-side for the lead as well. Side-by-sides everywhere, in fact, as you would expect at the start of a race like this. And Mr. Alcon managing to defend the lead. Rillo trying to slip through on Hetharion. I think he might be able to do it. Yes, with a better run through the third corner. Rillo up into second, and Nismo's also following him through. Hetharion really struggling the whole way down the straight with that poor exit out of the corner, and will also be under pressure from Andrex, who he's looking for the inside line into the chicane. Nismo now also trying to get past Rillo with the inside line. Two side-by-sides at the front of the field. Oh, and Andres getting up the inside on Nismo. Nismo running a bit deep. Mr. Alcon running a bit deep. Everyone running a bit deep. And still no contact though, Stevie. It's been a really close start, and I have no idea what to look at because the whole field is in one little shot.
That was the cleanest first lap I've ever seen so far, but we're still battling for the lead between Nismo and Mr. Alcon. Mr. Alcon taking a defensive line.
Oh, Rillo's gone way up the track.
As Papan's gone off, Rillo has...
Or was it Papant? Oh.
He looked like that. Well,
yeah, Rillo's still third. So it was his teammate with the same livery. That's what confused me. As we have side by side behind Rillo now. Claessen's. Oh, and then he's Papan. I swear I saw that. How is he? He's still in 50% off. Anyway, we'll try to figure that one out. Oh!
Andrex and Itharian have come together into the stadium section. Oh, that's not good. That's Andrex in the wall. Might be able to keep going though.
Well, that's a shame for him dropping to 14th already, because now he's got no cars to defend from.
And something's happened to Enzo. He's at the back of the field. Bar those that have been involved in an accident.
No.
Shaft's gone past.
Nismo's down there.
Off the road, I think.
Yeah,
Gromster's been off the road at the second class corner. Oh, it's all kicking off.
Nismo's dropped from the session as well. Nismo's out of the whole thing.
Oh no, what?
And Enzo now being passed by Gronstra. Is Enzo damaged, I wonder? Let's try to get a close-up look. I can't see any obvious damage on his car. Gotta hope he hasn't. But yeah, that's not what Enzo would have wanted. Now, starting 5 positions in front of Chaff, he's now 4 positions behind him. Which I think, if he's able to make some miracle up now, or Chaff has an incident, I think that is potentially bye-bye to the Championship Challenge, unfortunately. But
that was not the start he wanted.
Yeah.
Just making going for another position on Dangerous Gianetta at this point. He's gone to the outside for the hairpin. Dangerous Gianetta is just going to brake later and stay with him on the inside.
He's done well.
Does get the switch back. Yeah, he's going for it. He's going to put him on the inside line for the next corner. But he's got a much nicer drive out of that, out of the hairpin. He should have this move done as he turns in. Yeah, he's got that one sorted. Unless Dangerous Gianetta is going to throw one back up the inside.
You never know. He did do a bit of a inside throw in the previous race, although it wasn't that particular corner. Alex saying in the chat that Enzo does have damage.
I think he does. Oh, there's Itharian's had a little spin. I think he does, because going through that fast right-hander after the hairpin, he was very wobbly. Now that could just be how the spectator cam, but that may be damage as well. And he's not really gaining. Oh, he's all over the curve.
Yeah,
well,
he seems to be struggling quite a bit. I can't really see any major damage visually, but yeah, it definitely seems like his damage is really understeering in that corner as well. So yeah, unfortunately for Enzo, he was needing that Chaff got caught in an incident, but instead he has had the problem. And Mr. Alcon, though, still leading the race from pole.
There's a 5-way scrap for the lead.
Yeah.
Thrillers were wide. Oh, that was close. There was nearly contact between Claessen's and Rillo. They're side by side now towards turn 2, maybe 3, depending on how it's classified. Rillo on the inside. He should be able to hold this off. Claessen's will be in a lovely position to get him down the straight. God, you must be loving it if you're Schaff. You've, 3 laps into the race, you can already see the top 5 and the lead.
Yeah. Rillo might see 3rd instead of 2nd in a bit. Oh, and Schaff going for the move behind them as well. Another case of 2 side-by-sides at the same time. Rillo on the outside of Claessen's, and then Schaff. Oh, Claessen's lost it into the front of Rillo. There's been a contact on the front of Rillo. Maybe some damage to his car. Oh, and there's a spinner back there.
It's Dangerous Gianetta.
God, he's basically planted in the wall.
Yeah, he gave that a nice big smackaroony, that one.
Actually, that is
He's missed Valentine's Day.
That is Vernex in 3rd now. That is not Schaff. I thought it was
got a
Schaff.
different livery.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, weren't they teammates? Interesting. Or is Schaff
They are.
the
Well,
wrong
maybe
livery?
after last week, maybe Schaff decided to get rid of him. Schaff, talking of which, has made up another position into the stadium section on Rillo, as we talk about it. Oh, Rillo got quite a bit there. And he's got to slow down because of it. That's Claessen's getting past him, and Jeff's getting past him, and Grosser getting past him. And Brandress is not going to get... Well, he might do. Wow, that's a really long slowdown. But that's what we get for cutting corners. Don't cut corners.
Good advice from Stevie there. So that's a shame for Rillo, of course. Another man in a good position who has had a problem dropping back. And
Nismo in the chat. Nismo in the chat. Curbs are mean.
Okay.
Curbs are mean. And if I was going to say this earlier, actually. If I remember rightly, the curb at turn 1 was brutal, both inside and outside. If you got on the outside one, you'd be in the wall quicker than you could say hello.
Yeah.
Oh, Grunge has got to slow down as well. Oh, they're all cutting corners. That's what you get. But I think we're going to have a move for the lead here. Vernex, Papand are all over the back of Alcon here.
It's either going to be a move for the lead or a move for 2nd. One of the two.
Maybe
is
3
definitely
wide.
Oh, yeah. Well, no. Papan's not really. Oh, actually, that was a bit of contact.
So that was a bit late.
Pulled out a bit late. Mr. Alcon decided to go defensive, even though he was not too under pressure, but it's probably a wise move because Papa now right on the back of contact again. Another tiny tap. Vernox trying to cut underneath both of them with a better exit potentially. I can't really see from this angle.
Yeah. The side by side full on.
Yeah, there we go. He's got the inside line title line though, and Mr. Alcon just carried so much more speed. And here comes Charf as well on his teammate, despite running a different liver in this race for some reason. And he's going to be on the inside. Vernox doesn't tend to like giving Charf any free positions though, despite their teammate-tree. And he's held him off for a third.
Vernox was so cautious going side by side with Mr. Alcon. Into that fast right, he braked.
Yeah.
That's why he lost that position to Papan, because he got out of it. That is class. Sharf's trying to go around the outside. There's contact between teammates. Sharf's almost in the gravel.
Here comes the other guys as well. That is Parsons and Jeff, I think. Parsons and Jeff trying to get in the action then. And Vernox is seemingly losing that position to Charf eventually after a very interesting fight. And he's also dropping further positions. Oh, he's dropped to Klaus and Jeff as well, being forced to the outside line through both of the final corners. And that has just allowed the two other guys as well to slip underneath. And now though, Claessen's running very wide of the corner. He's had a slow down. He's certainly driving much slower than these guys. That might just been a case of just lifting off because he was a little bit on the grass there. And Vernox trying to get both the positions back straight away. Jeff though holding it around the outside onto the big straight. And Vernox not quite able to stay alongside, or is he? Or is he? Claessen's, look at Claessen's run as well. This could be a 3-wide Stevie potentially.
Go on, do it!
No, Claessen's boxed in. He can't go anywhere. He needs to get on the other side somehow.
Try harder.
He's trying to go for the other side.
A quick shout out. We have lost Enzo. Enzo is out of the race. That's really putting a damper on the championship now, unless it all goes horribly wrong for Schaff, which I'm not saying it will. I'm not trying to curse it, because he's up into a podium position at this point. But that's a shame for Enzo.
Enzo had a really impressive season, was keeping Charf honest in the championship for 5 weeks when Charf, based on pace, was looking very strong. But Enzo's really just hung in there. And unfortunately now though, it's not quite gone to plan. Here at Hockenheim, so I think unless a miracle happens now, Charf will have the championship, but of course it's not the only championship position that is worth fighting for. All these guys trying to get as high up as they possibly can. And it's all about the race wins as well. Papan looking good for potentially another race win, although he would have been looking better if he wasn't Charf there right behind him.
Yeah, plus he's had 5 laps or so behind. Oh, a little bit of contact in the final corner. And Schaff's got straight past him. That's punished him for it. That's Schaff in the runner-up position. That's sorry, Enzo. I know you're in the chat. Sorry about that. Mr. Alcon defending from Schaff. Wonder if Mr. Alcon's going to make this as difficult as he can for Schaff here.
Yeah, so these guys, you might think they're teammates with liveries, but they're actually not. So Mr. Alcon will defend for his life, and actually has put Schaff in a bit of a tricky situation there, giving him a poor exit with the line he forced him to take. And Papan actually, briefly at least, slipping back into second place, getting slipstream. It's sneaky from Mr. Alcon as well, giving Papan the slipstream down the straight.
He'd rather have Papan behind him than Schaff,
yeah.
I don't blame him.
Yeah. But he will retain lead into the corner. Papan on the inside of Charf.
Himself.
Oh no!
He's got run wide. That's Papan straight through. He's going to be boxing by Schaff.
3 wide potentially. No, Papan's ahead. Charf might though try and get past Mr. Alcon, but no, they're going to be one file through the kink and then hit the braking zone for the Mercedes corner.
Oh, Mr. Alcon's going for it!
Diving up the inside of Papan, forcing him in wide. Can Charf take advantage? Yes, he can. On Mr. Alcon, can he also get straight past Papan? No, he cannot. Papan doing really well to keep control of the car there, despite that little touch. And might though have to go defensive in the stadium section, but no, Charf doesn't go for a move here. Very high speed corner, of course, but yeah, that's then the first time in the race where Mr. Alcon's really properly lost the lead of the race. Oh, here we go.
Schaff's gone for it. He's gone for the inside at the little hairpin. They're going to be side by side through these fast little kinks. Oh, a little bit of contact. Schaff!
Oh!
They got sticky together. It's Project Cars physics.
Look at this battling. Look at the train.
Jeff's coming through. Jeff's going to be in the lead.
Oh my word, Jeff out of nowhere.
Everything's happened. Papan's got to slow down. Everything's happened. I don't know what, but everything.
Jeff is somehow leading the race. Charf is taking the inside to get P2 back from Mr. Alcon, who's now side by side with Vernox, I think. Yes, it is indeed. And into the second corner. Still side by side, but Mr. Alcon looks like I've got him covered now. That is Claessens, is it now? Getting in on the action as well. Papan's right there. Still, Gronstra going wide behind them, and then Branderis. So top 6 all of a sudden, really close. And Mr. Alcon again under pressure from Charf, but this time for third and not for first.
Yeah, I tell you what, it got a little bit desperate from Mr. Alcon, but it was just about okay. But that was, what a crazy series of events. Mr. Charf must be thinking, just leave me alone.
Oh, Charf now. No, there's Charf going for the lead, actually.
He is. He's side by side with Jeff now, out of the hairpin. You can play this either side. You're in a good position either way. Can Jeff hold it on the outside? He can. Will he throw it back up the inside?
Go on, Jeff.
He's thinking about it. You're supposed to be impartial.
But I want to battle. I don't want Charf to get away and pull the gap, you know. Because that is, I'm giving him a compliment by saying this. Because I think
he's going to have a go into the stadium here. I think.
We go. Jeff.
It's going to be a lunge and a half.
Oh, this is going to be tricky though. It's always tricky to be inside here. No contact. Jeff backs out of it just about, and now Vernock's trying to slip underneath to get the position. They're going to be very close into this long left-hander, and Jeff with the inside line wins out on that occasion. But look at the train though. This is Charf's chance really. This is the chance he wants. He's got still just over half the race to go to try and pull a gap, and this is obviously the situation that we want in terms of entertainment purposes, because we know Charf has the pace to pull away. So Jeff really needs to not get held up here by Vernox, who's right on the back of him. And to be fair though to Jeff, he also showed really good pace in qualified in second place, but out of the first corner here, he's not had the best exit, and Stevie, he might, oh never mind.
Vernox backed out of that.
Yeah, he backed out before.
I don't know whether Vernox has had a brainwave and thought, I don't want to let Charf get away here. Jeff on pace from basic qualifying was the closest one to Charf, but in the first race, Gronstra had better pace. Obviously, you don't know what Jeff could do because he died. But I think Charf's just started to get a bit of a gap now. That it's not much, but it might just be enough. Vernox challenging Jeff for P2. He's going on the outside. Wow, he braked late. Really, a bit too late, really.
Oh yeah, very late.
And he's lost a position almost to Claessens. Claessen's going for a move on Jeff. He's going to hold it on the inside. That's going to be brave. I don't think he's going to do it. He's going to back out of that one. The good news, all the moves are going on at the front because we haven't looked away for a while.
So I think that Papan now is in. He's still in 5th actually. So we have lost another driver though. Oh no, that's Enzo and Isma, of course. Both of those uncoordinated teammates. Both gone up.
We have got Andrex and Rillo side by side for 9th place, going in towards the stadium section now. They've been side by side through the past couple of corners. Andrex on the inside for the stadium section, and he's got that moved on. Nice little move.
Nice little move. Another move into the stadium section. So Andrex making some positions up after being lost halfway through the first lap. I believe it was. Gronstra has not really made his way through as quickly as we maybe would have thought. Whether he has any damage, I'm not really sure, but it's down in 8th at the moment. But a lot of cars very close in front of him though, so there's definitely chances there in the final second half of the race for Gronstra to move up a bit. Gronstra and Mr. Alcon. Oh, Mr. Alcon spins out of turn 1. Huge impact with the wall. Absolutely huge impact. That might well be his race over. Because 9 laps to go, it's not really enough time to go and do a pit stop, and well, he might finish the race in 12th at the back, all around, get the points, but that is not going to make the rest of his race particularly pleasant. And now comes the other guys to take that position from him as well.
Yeah, Andrex has just blasted past him on a straight, so I don't think he's his car's is in very good nick at the minute. He's not going to get much for that in the classifieds. The gap at the front is starting to spread out a little bit. Shaft's got the brake he needed. Just start shaking off Vernox a little bit. Who's got Claessens behind him? Papan's still hanging on in there. Papan maybe just struggles a little in qualifying because, you know, we saw it last week. His racing pace was inconsistent at times, but he did what he needed to do, and he's certainly holding his own out there today.
Of course, in his interview, he said that he doesn't usually practice for these races, so maybe.
Yeah, and he doesn't like the car.
Yeah, so that's probably why, you know, we see his pace kind of increase throughout the night. It's the worst during qualifying, and then as the race goes on, he gets more into it and gets more comfortable with the track and the car.
I think he should practice next week.
Would be nice, wouldn't it? I think, obviously, based on GT3 results, he definitely could be right up there. If he does, running wide through that corner though, but no slow down for that one. So yeah, second to fifth still very close together, even though it's calmed down a bit, you had to say. Probably a few laps to go. 8 laps remaining in the race. I'm gonna just scroll through the whole field a bit, just to see where everyone is. Got,
oh, Grunster's in the wall. He's just getting the wall coming out of turn 1. I've just caught the back end of him doing a spin, and he is out of the race.
That is a shame.
We're losing people left, right, and centre.
People are really struggling.
Mainly right, because they keep hitting that wall.
Yeah,
losing them left, right, and right.
I wonder if it's the curbs that they're struggling with here. Obviously, Nismo mentioned in the chat that the curbs are not very pleasant. And yeah, I think that's just the case, that they're getting too hard on some of those curbs, and their cars just get completely thrown off. And that is definitely, I know that coming outside of turn 1 for sure is very big and nasty for the balance of these cars.
I mean, I remember I've dropped it through turn 1 on my own back when we did it in GT3, and it's the slightest too much over that curb and you're off either to the left or to the right. Doesn't matter. Take your pick which wall you're going to hit, but you're going to hit it, and you're going to hit it hard. Exactly. And it's the worst place because you're miles away from the pit lane.
Fair play to Mr. Alcon. Despite that heavy hit, he has not retired, and like some of the other guys, he is staying out in 11th place, which is still some points for his championship, of course. So I think, where is he compared to Charf? He's there. Charf is there. So he's still on the lead lap. So fair play to Mr. Alcon. Charf, though, looking very comfortable here. He's in the 46s now, which is nearly qualifying pace for him. So yeah, I think
everyone else is sort of just filing down into their own pace now. Klaas has had a bit of a moment there through turn 1.
It's kind of unusual for these main races to calm down this early, I have to say. I don't
but
think we've had this
got quite a few people out.
Yeah, exactly.
And have you already forgotten the orgy of action we had at the start?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't even at the start. It was like 4 laps ago.
And Enzo has come in the chat saying, "Whoops."
Yeah.
Probably sums up his race, I think, even though we didn't really see... Did we see what happened to him?
Yeah.
In this race? No, I don't think so.
All of a sudden he was at the back of the pack, and then he wasn't here anymore.
Yeah. That is, of course, a shame.
Oh, I think Papana's just had a little bit of a moment, coming out of the hairpin. He's still going.
So how is the pace on these guys in the top 5? So obviously Charf with the best pace.
Well, Jeff on the last lap was actually quicker.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jeff matching Charf in that last lap.
I mean, only by 700ths.
I think that's quicker than his qualifying lap. And Jeff qualified second, and now he's done a lap that's even quicker. That is very impressive.
I think Vernux's pace, he's going to rely on a little bit of battling from those ahead. Klaasen's, well, he's not too far off. Papand, I think, is the one that's really outperforming what he can do. Because he's really up there, putting in really good lap times. And it's like you said, because he doesn't practice so much, he's learning, getting quicker and quicker and quicker.
Yeah.
I'm going to give him a compliment. I say he's outperforming himself. Because that's what it looks like to me. On that last lap, again, Jeff took a 100th of a second out of Shaft.
Very, very equal pace. It's only a couple of seconds between them.
Here's the thing. You don't need to reel Shaft in. You just need to be there because of the pressure. We've seen before. How many times will he make a mistake? Jeff just needs to, as long as he's there and within touching distance, I think Shaft will be sweating.
Yeah. Nearly made a mistake in the first race today.
He did make a mistake.
Was at, well, yeah, but not big enough.
No, but he made a mistake.
Yes. Technically, you are correct.
Because you didn't see it.
I heard it though, from your reaction. But Johan in the Twitch seeming interested to get involved in the league, which is good. Obviously only 1 week to go in this particular league before we get back onto the GT3 train. What?
Move for 9th place between Gianetta and Hathari on the battling into the hairpin.
Ooh.
And Gianetta stays out.
Yeah, Thorium didn't have the best run through there.
No. They're the closest cars on track at the minute, though, so... Well, actually, it looks like Vernix has caught up to Jeff on this lap a little bit. I wonder if Jeff made a little mistake.
We'll see the laptops in a bit, and yeah, I think it's quite visible as well that the gap is increasing to Sharp, who has to now hold on for another 5 laps of this race, and he will, I don't think he will secure the championship here. I don't think so. It was 16 points, wasn't it? I said.
Yes, he was 16 points ahead with 3 races to go.
Then 24 points more than Enzo will put him third, 40. Wait,
oh, he
40?
still will still
40.
be 24 times 2, which is 48.
Yeah.
I can do maths.
He'll be
And he
40
won't
ahead,
have that many, so.
and there's still 48 on offer. So yeah,
He can definitely wrap it up in the first race next week. But
indeed.
that's assuming he wins this race. He might not.
Well, you never know. Might
Right.
get disconnected. Might spin off the auto-spin curb. Might crash into the pit wall. He might.
You never know. He might get abducted by aliens.
Might get many things. Might cut a corner again. I don't know.
Vernix is really close to Jeff. Close as he has been for a while. I don't think he's ready for a move yet, but he's catching. And I think because of that, Jeff's focus has stopped being on Schaff and is more on Vernix. Which is annoying.
Probably right there. Speaking of Vernix, actually, he was third in the championship going into tonight. I can't quite remember where they finished in the first race. I think he was towards the mid or lower end of the top 10 somewhere. But he might pass Enzo in the championship, maybe.
Yeah, Bransky just said that.
Yeah.
Vernix will be second.
That is interesting. It's obviously
We've been looking at this is Vernix's long game. We've been saying he doesn't let Schaff through because he knew all along he would be the title challenger.
yeah. The gap might be slightly less than 40 points then, if it's not only the gap to Enzo to worry about. But I don't think it'll be too much less, to be honest.
No. Yeah, it's going to be certainly be close for second in the championship.
It will indeed, yeah. Enzo and Vernix being the battle, maybe then to look out for in the final week, in terms of championship position at the front. And of course, Claessen's, how is he doing here today?
Oh, he's got to slow down right now.
Oh.
Brandress is going to not take that position.
This is interesting as well for fourth in the championship. Obviously, Gronstra and Claessen's are 2 teammates. Gronstra gained quite a bit of points on Claessen's in the first race from getting second compared to Claessen's 13th. Whereas now though, Gronstra's out, yeah, and Claessen's is on for 5th, which will put them very close together, I think, again, into the final week.
Good. Nice little teammate battle brewing. You know your shout out to the Mr. Soldiering on Never Give Up. Mr. Ocon has now left.
Aww.
I think he was so far behind. I think he realised he wasn't going to achieve much. Although he would have got points.
He would. How is Alcon doing in the championship? He is in 13th, so 20-point gap as well as that. Yeah. And the next car up for him is Papan. So it was always going to be tricky to get higher, but of course leaving the session isn't going to help.
No. I was surprised that Mr. Alcon fought Schaff so hard. I thought maybe because they're both ex-Xbox players, they may have had a little bit of a coordinated love.
Yeah.
A little bit more
They've
respect.
all forgotten about the console days when they come onto the PC.
Yeah.
It's all forgotten.
Same.
PC
Nismo says, where is he in the championship?
Where is Nismo in the championship? Nismo was 10th. Before this, obviously, he didn't race last week. And he was equal on points with Vrillo, actually.
Oh, Papan! Oh, he was so close to that wall. I just happened to be on him, and he had quite a moment through turn 1. Didn't hit the wall, but he got so close. Carry on.
I forgot what I was going to carry on with there.
Nismo.
Nismo. Oh, yeah. Well, he was 10th in the championship. I think that's not too much more to say.
Well, see, I saved you.
I don't know where he is now. Rillo might... Well, Rillo... Yeah, Rillo might have passed. He probably will have passed him with a good result in the first race.
9th and 10th, Dangerous Ginetta and Hithorian. They're out there trying to provide some entertainment for us because the rest of the grid field are all spread out.
That is good. Let's see then if Hithorian can get a run on Dangerous Ginetta. Let's get another view of how powerful the slipstream is in these cars. And you can see he's definitely closing. Is he closing enough? Ginetta going defensive into the hairpin. Very defensive, almost on that curb, which I didn't even know existed. On the right hand side, and he has defended it nicely. Unless Hithorian can cut underneath, but the last few times he's been in that position, he's not really been able to carry enough speed through the exit of the corner, and it's another similar story here. So Ginetta holding on from Hithorian. And where are these guys in the championship? Hithorian 16th actually. But his points here will certainly help him. But Jim Baum ahead, who is pulled out of the league, so he will definitely get that position today. Brandress as well, although Brandress in this race is in 6th.
Pressuring Klaassen. Bransky highlighted it, and I can't see a last lap for Klaassen's.
Oh,
no, Klaassen's had a slowdown.
I see.
Didn't he?
So maybe that's not him catching by pace, that might just be the same.
That also might explain why Papan got past him. Bransky.
Indeed.
Look at there.
Only 2 laps remaining. Ginetta running very wide on the front corner. Hithorian getting a run. Is he going to go for it into turn 1? This is going to be daring if he tries, and he does try with the inside line. Not much of a break on here. Oh! He's lucky he braked enough because Ginetta took the apex.
Ginetta was turning in regardless of whether he was going to be there or not.
Ginetta was not having any of that. So Hithorian will have to try and find another way.
Yeah, Ginetta knew he could brake later being on the racing line and just sail the back row past him. That will really annoy Hithorian. That was his best chance to get past him in ages.
Yeah.
So, little butt look up through the field. Vernox has dropped off the back of Jeff, it looks like. Yeah, Jeff pulled 8/10 a second over Vernox on that last lap.
And the gap to Jeff and between Jeff and Scharf about 3-4 seconds potentially. So Scharf looking quite dominant in the end. Obviously, he spent the first half of the race getting through the pack, spent the second half of the race pulling a gap, and it's been the perfect weekend for Scharf. He only has 1 lap to go to secure this, and it will. I think it was Brownsky that pointed out earlier that if Scharf wins this, it'll be the first time all season that someone has won both the sprint and the main race.
Wow. But I think that's a good thing and a good thing and a not so good thing. It's a good thing because it shows that the sprint race reverse grid works. You know, it provokes different winners. It proves it's difficult for those behind the faster guys to get through all the time. But it's a bad thing in the sense that it's Scharf that's won both of them, and he's going to get an even bigger lead in the championship when enters not scoring.
That is true. Just having a quick look back at the battle for 9th again. They're also just now starting the final lap of the race. Ginetta having that under control at the moment, but still has to be very wary of Hithorian in that final lap or below. In 8th now, has he dropped a bit? I swear he was a bit higher earlier on. Andrix in 7th, Brandress in 6th, Klaassen's in 5th, and Papan completely by himself.
Didn't Papan spend most of the last race on his own as well?
Probably, yeah.
I think he was like 5th on his own for most of that. You know, it's the last lap, so it doesn't really matter now. But they get so close to that wall on the left when they turn in for the stadium. I just caught Scharf on board. He's so close. Why would you go so close? Why would you risk so much on the last few laps?
Striving for perfection on every lap. That is what champions do. And a champion is what Scharf will most likely become. It's not quite secured yet. He still has to turn up for next week and score at least a few points. But for today, it's been a perfect night for Scharf. Wins both the sprint race and the main race for the first time someone has managed that all season. And then Jeff will come across in 2nd, bouncing back from the DNF in the first one. Vernox in 3rd, getting another podium finish. Papan will come across in 4th then after last week, of course. This time he was winning the race, but for still not a bad result. And then Klaassen's will come ahead of Brandress to take the final top 5 position. Andrex not too far behind actually in the end. in 7th, and then Rillo in 8th, with Ginetta very close behind.
I think something must have happened with him and the Thorin,
Yeah,
because Thorin's
potentially.
really dropped off the back. But he comes round as the final finisher of the races, Gronstra and Enzo and Mr. Ocon and etc. 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 I'm no longer here. And Nismo.
So yeah, so Enzo, Nismo, Gronstra and Mr. Alcon, the non-finishers today. Only 10 drivers finishing, which I think is a new negative record, I guess we can say.
I'm glad you didn't say low.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. We usually say this in kind of football, game of two halves, but I think this was a race of two halves. Tons and tons of battling in the first half, and then it kind of calmed down a bit in the second half. And there's not too much more to say.
Yeah,
Still, championship battle for first seems relatively settled now, unfortunately, because Enzo's struggles, but battle for second, fourth, and probably several other positions still very much up for grabs next week.
Gonna be pretty exciting. And the next race is Catalonia National.
I believe so.
He says
yes.
he says confident. It actually is. I know that one. Which is quite a good little circuit.
Yeah.
It's not the best circuit. It's a bit different from the GP circuit, but it's a nice little circuit. You can overtake, but it's not gonna. I don't think it'll be as easy as it was here.
I agree. Obviously, with the national layout, you cut out quite a bit of the main straight, so you'll have a shorter run down to the first corner there to make that overtake. And a few other overtaking places on the track as well. I'm sure there'll be another exciting one, and of course, even on tracks where there aren't too many overtaking spots, there is guaranteed to be action anyway, just because of the format of this league.
If they made Willow Springs exciting, they can make Catalonia National exciting.
And Willow Springs was potentially the most exciting all season.
Exactly.
So hopefully there'll be another one of that. I think before we go, we will have a few interviews with a few drivers. We
can't interview Enzo this week.
Yeah, I think it's probably for the best anyway. He might not be in the best of moods today. He was already a little bit disappointed last week after his minor struggles, and now he's had some major struggles, which certainly won't help. But who do you want to hear from then? Do you have any?
Branderis, we've not spoken to him, and he's had a good result today.
Yeah.
I can't remember where he finished.
Jeff,
the first
maybe?
race. Yeah, Jeff, anybody? I don't mind. You?
Two very contrasting races.
Before they run off.
Yeah. Potentially just go with Jeff again, just because of his dominance. But I think we're going to get Jeff in first, after his second place finish at the main race.
User was moved to your channel.
Hello, Jeff.
Hi,
Jeff. Hello there.
How are you doing? A very contrasting night for you. DNF in the first race, and then fighting through just to get second in the second one. How are you feeling?
Yeah, well, the first race was terrible. I had a bad start. Suddenly I was on first on pole, and then I thought, I have to slow down a little bit, and then Jarv hit the throttle, and then everybody just passed me. So I had a better exit than Phoenix, and I tried to overtake him on the right, but I didn't realize there was someone on the right, so it was my own mistake. Race 2,
you started on the back road, didn't you?
Yeah, from all the way in the back. I just passed the guys who were making mistakes and battling.
Yeah.
And in mid race, in mid, I had some trouble finding some pace. Phoenix comes very close to defend a few times. Made some mistakes. I gained some few tenths, and from there on I just raced that hard.
Well, it was
so I was pretty glad I finished second.
Yeah. Interesting that in the reverse grid race is actually when the finishing positions was in the top two at least was the same as the qualifying.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you, how was it when because you came out of nowhere in that main race? You were sort of in the midfield, and then there was such a mad mess of cars everywhere through the final sector. You just came through and took the lot of them.
Which part do you mean?
I think it was a
Like,
part final sector at some point where you basically
second
just
race.
cut underneath everyone. It
The
looks
second race.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. They had some battles, and yeah, they made each other slow down very much. And I take other line in the last corners there. Yeah, I think it's a little bit faster, and it's easier for the tires, I think. So I had just a better exit all over there.
Doesn't look very opportunistic from when we were watching it, but
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
so,
Oh, that's good.
not really sure whether you have made any movements in the championship today. You were 7th going in, and you have had, I must say, you've had some, on occasion, some really impressive pace in this car. How do you feel like driving this car this season has gone in general?
Well, I like the car. I like the car because it's very competitive. It's about skills and knowing the track. Be very clean. If you drive very clean, those dents that fast. Yeah, and well, battling in this car is just great. Some tracks are like this, a little less, I think. Yeah, the other tracks were great.
Good there, and yeah, that's about it. To be honest, well done again with the 2nd place, and
Yeah.
thanks for joining us in the box.
Yeah, thank you.
Right, see you next time.
Okay, see you.
See you later.
Bye bye.
User was moved out of your channel.
Cool. I already forgot who else we were wanting to hear from.
You
Did he say
began
Brandros?
Randers, yes.
Where did he finish again?
In the 2nd race, you finished 6th.
In the 1st race?
I remember.
No, they will ask him.
Yeah.
User was moved to your channel.
Hello, Brandros. Welcome to the commentary box if you're here.
Please be here. Hello.
Brandros! Much is gone for.
Whisper shouting, that'll work.
Brandros, please come back. Oh,
I don't think he wants to talk to us.
or his mouth fell off, I'm not sure.
His
Anyway.
mouth fell off. Mr. Potato Head.
Okay, well, maybe hear from Brandros next week.
User was moved out of your channel.
He's clearly not at his computer at the moment. So,
No.
who else? We have got Nismo in air. Didn't finish that last race though. He wasn't in it for long. He was the first one to drop. So I don't think he'll have too much to talk about.
And he's been having bants in the chat anyway.
Yeah. He's basically just been watching the same as us. Super quick word and with Sharp because he's the only man still there with
Yeah. And
microphone.
go on then.
User was moved to your channel.
Sharp, you are back
Hello.
again in the commentary box.
Yeah, once again.
You're probably getting tired of us by now, but
Oh no, that's alright.
man, that was the perfect 2 races for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, at least once I did a double win. But it
Yeah.
was a messy race, so benefited a lot on that. And those accidents happening around me in the 2nd race.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was really quite a few drivers spinning off and retiring with damage, especially in the 2nd race. How hard was it out there with the curbs and everything?
It is hard with the curves on that track, because there are certain curves, if you drive on them the wrong way, you're gonna out. And if you're having battles, it's likely that you get dragged out a bit to the side of the track. Like it happened to me once, and then you're gonna lose or have a crash. And yeah, that happened quite a lot. 5 or more people retired. Yeah, I think that tells the story about.
Yeah. And of course, it's the first time all season that someone's taken the win in both of the races on the same night. And of
Congratulations.
course, because of that, and because
Thank you.
of Enzo's unfortunate struggles, you will now have quite a big gap in the championship. Not entirely sure what you'll have. 40 points on Enzo, although I think Vernex will have gone ahead of him, so he might be slightly closer, but still, you are certainly looking... I'm not going to say champion quite yet, but you still have to turn up next week and score some points, but it's getting close.
Yeah, it's a comfortable position, I think.
Yeah. I would say so.
Talking of comfortable, well, probably more uncomfortable. Can you confirm you made a mistake on the final lap in the sprint race at the hairpin?
No, I just wanted to show you guys some kind of drift.
Did the heart go a little bit quick there?
Yep, it did indeed. I thought, oh my god, not again in the last lap.
At least it's
Yeah.
able this time to only be half spin, not the full spin.
Yeah, half is better than full, indeed. But it's if you get on the curb in the braking zone for that corner, and the rear is getting really unstable, and it's easy to spin on that.
Well, I don't think there's too much more to say. I think all we say is just congrats on a great night for you, and we'll see you next week again, potentially as the champion.
And we'll probably talk to you again next week.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
probably gonna have to. Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for joining us again.
See you later.
See you next week.
Yeah, thank you guys. See you next week.
Bye.
User was moved out of your channel.
Okie doke. That was our soon-to-be most likely champion.
You can't say that.
But look at the
Don't know.
championship, though. It's nearly 40 points.
He might turn up next week and have horrible internet connection.
Or he might be
I hope that
drunk
doesn't
from all
happen,
this
but
champagne.
pre-championship party.
Yes.
That's bold. That's really cocky.
But yeah, still a few championship scraps to look out for, of course, in the final night next week at Catalonia National, as you mentioned. Vernix versus Enzo for second, as Grunster versus Claessens for fourth. As probably a few more championship battles throughout the field as well. And just regardless of the championship battles, you know, you can just turn up next week and watch some great racing, because you know with this league and the format that it will be a lot of action.
It will be good. And can I just say, I'm glad we finished the driver interviews, because there is one of your newly appointed super moderators in TeamSpeak changing his name
Oh god.
to people who race in the league, hoping to get dragged in for an interview.
I wonder if he was Branders when we dragged him in.
No, he wasn't. But yeah, you should absolutely turn up and watch next week for the finale of this. It's a great series. Come on, have a laugh. Come on, watch. Come on, watch Fizzy and maybe me not do maths properly, and then argue about it, and then Fizzy be right, and
That was the
all
main
the
event.
other hilarious scenes you're going to see. And like the 17 cars for the lead, and oh, it's amazing.
So Stevie's
Come on.
promising a 17 wide next week into turn
I
1.
didn't say that.
You
I said
did.
Battle for the lead.
You insinuated. Battle for the
I
lead,
didn't.
yeah.
Don't, what did you call it?
Anyway.
Can we
Yeah.
end it there?
Oh, we're gonna end it there, yeah. So next week, guys, final race night of this little 6-week season, and then of course focus will be on the GT3 release again for season 7 of
I'm not ready.
Stevie's not ready, but you're not racing, luckily. You're just organising and
No,
doing
no, I'm
all
just-
the suits inquiries.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, join us next week in the stream, guys, and of course keep an eye on the forum as well for if you want to get involved in GT3 Season 7 as well in the coming week. So, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you next week at Catalonia National.
You nearly finished it. But also, everyone,
No,
check out.
we need
the,
to redo the stream. I bottled it.
Wait,
Restart.
before you end it anyway, make sure you tune in on Friday for the
Yeah.
finale of Formula Renault over
Yes.
on the GSRC YouTube channel, and on Fizzy stream, and on Wycombe stream, and on Blumley stream, and on everybody else's stream.
All the streams will have Formula Renault next week, so you can just go on
Titles
literally
not decided.
any stream on Twitch and it'll have that.
Yes.
Well, not quite, but you know.
Or just look for the alert on AOR.
Yeah,
But go and
yeah.
watch that on Saturday. Friday.
Friday.
Go on Friday. Saturday will be too late.
This is a fantastic outro.
Goodbye.
Bye, guys. Thanks for watching. See you later.